This is Cycle 2, Lesson 7, and in this lesson we're going to look at adding and subtracting polynomials. This is really just a reminder of some of the stuff you learned back in grade 9, where you collect like terms and you can only add together like terms. And like terms, remember, have the same variables and the same exponents on the variables. So very basic polynomial. 5x plus 9x squared plus 3x. I'm going to use highlighting in this lesson to highlight the same types of terms. So 5x and 3x are just both x terms, whereas 9x squared is an x squared term. So it doesn't matter what the numbers are out front. What matters is the variable has to be the same and the exponent on the variable. So I highlighted 5x and 3x because they are both the same type of term. If I was to rewrite it, I might usually do this in my head, but I'm going to rewrite it this time. I'm always going to put my highest exponent terms first, and then I would put my next lowest exponent terms, and then so on if there are multiple ones. So I'm always going to start with x squared in this case, and then the x is next. So 9x squared plus 8x. I've got 5 x's. I'm adding 3 more x's to them. I've got 8 x's. The x's don't change. They don't become x squareds. They're just what they are. I've just got how many of them is what I'm looking at. 5 of them plus 3 of them gives me 8 of them. So that's the basic idea of collecting like terms, as I'm sure you know. Algebraic expressions with more than one term are called polynomials. Also nothing new to you. Polynomials can be added by collecting like terms and then adding or subtracting the coefficients. So if I want to simplify this one, I need to take the brackets off, but at the same time I have to pay attention to the signs, right? If there's a plus sign, if this was a plus sign, I could just take the brackets off, keep the same signs as we already have. But this isn't a plus sign. This is a minus sign. Whenever there's a minus sign in front of a bracket, that's going to change all the signs inside the bracket. We can think of it like we're multiplying by a negative number, because really that's sort of what's happening. So I'm going to multiply 4 times negative 1 in this case, and negative 2x squared by negative 1. And really, again, I don't need to show that. I don't need to draw the arrows. I'm just doing that as I explain it. But the signs are going to change. And you have to remember that because it's a really common mistake for people to forget to change the signs. Most common of all is when people forget, here I'm not going to write this yet, is when people will remember to change the sign in the first term, but they totally forget to change any signs in terms that come after it. But this minus sign is affecting everything. So when I take the first brackets off, there's nothing to do. All I do is take the brackets off, and that's fine. When I take the second brackets off, as I just mentioned, I'm going to change the signs of everything. That's all you really have to do if there's just the minus sign there and no number. It becomes minus 4x and plus 2x squared. Now, again, I'm going to collect my like terms. I've got x squared terms. I've got x terms. And so I'm going to put the x squared terms first. And so I've got 2x squared plus x squared plus 2x minus 4x. So again, it's just a matter of putting things together and starting with the highest exponents first. So I moved those, and I moved those. Notice how the signs that were in front of any of the terms moved with it. So, for example, the minus 4x was still minus 4x. I moved this minus sign with the 4x when I moved it. And then I've got 2x squareds. I'm adding 1 more x squared to it. Well, now I've got 3x squareds. I had 2x, and I'm taking away 4x. Well, that's minus 2x. And then I have to stop there because once you've got down to 2 different types of terms, we know that we can't go any farther. Knowing when to stop's half the battle. That's my answer. I can do multiple ones like this. Again, just remember, anytime there's a minus sign in front of a bracket, it's going to change all the signs inside the brackets. That's going to become a plus 5x and a minus 4y. This one, is a plus sign. That means that no signs are going to change. So I'm going to keep this as a minus 2x and a minus 8y when I take them out of the brackets. So first term or first brackets, nothing changes because there's no signs in front of it. So 3x plus 2y. But then I get plus 6x. Sorry, 5x. Not sure where the 6 came from. Plus 5x minus 4y. Both those terms changed because of the minus sign in front of the bracket. Minus 2x minus 8y. Those two terms didn't change because it was a plus sign out in front of the brackets. Only minus signs change the signs inside the brackets. So in this case, I've got x terms. Here they all are. And I've got y terms. Here they are. Notice I'm highlighting the signs again because those are going to move with the terms. I'm going to go in alphabetical order in this case. In this example, we don't have exponents, but I've got two different variables. So if I've got two different variables, I'm going to go alphabetical. So I'll write the x's first, so 3x plus 5x minus 2x, just to rearrange it. And then I'll do the y's. So go back to plus 2y minus 4y minus 8y, again moving all the signs with the terms that follow them. So I've got 3x's and I add 5x's to it. That gives me 8x's. But then someone takes 2 of my x's away. Oh, now I've only got 6x's left. That's the way to think about it. I got 2 y's and I take away 4 y's. I got negative 2 y's. Take away 8 more. I got negative 10y. I owe somebody 10 y's, whatever that means. I'm just using the example of, I'm sort of thinking about it like it's money almost, right? Positive means someone owes me, I've got something. Negative means I owe somebody something else. Sometimes that could be helpful for just organizing your thoughts. Anyway, knowing when to stop, again, is important. 6x is not the same type of term as negative 10y. X and y terms can't be combined, so that's where we have to stop. And here's some practice questions. Again, the main thing I want to point out to you is anytime there's a negative sign, you're going to change all the signs in the brackets. So example 1, or question 1, these are all plus signs. I can take the brackets off of these ones, and I don't have to change any of the signs inside the brackets. Whereas in example 2, question 2, they're all minus signs. In every case here, all the signs in this second set of brackets are going to change. But it's only in what comes immediately after it. So for example, in question 3, where they start to combine them, or mix them up, I'd change the signs here, but I wouldn't change the signs after the plus sign. I'd change the signs after this minus sign, but I wouldn't change them after this plus sign, and so on. So it's case by case. What immediately follows the minus sign, the signs change, but not anything else other than that. So as usual, your job is to go through these, see how you do, check your answers, of course, and let me know anything you have problems with.